The DIY OneWheel progress has been going pretty steady, and today we will make the big battery pack. Since it is a heavy setup, it needs a large amount of juice. So I think at least a 10S battery with 2 parallel groups. That means 20 cells in total. I'm using the Samsung 25R, which is a high discharge, high capacity cell. If you find this video lacking in detail, that is because I have already talked about series and parallel configurations, how I test my new cells, and basically how to make a battery pack in the previous builds. The testing includes some visual inspections, measurements, and capacity testing. Now, first thing is to make sure the cells fit in our enclosure, which they won't if I use these spacers. Now, I really like these spacers because they space the cells out, keep them apart, keep it safe, and also give it a good structural integrity. Now, since we are lacking real estate, I am just going to ditch the spacers and stick the batteries to each other, create a denser battery pack. I start with applying this little ring on the positive terminal for extra protection, and then using the spot welder to spot weld the batteries together. Now we also build this spot welder on this channel, so you can check out how to build your own spot welder from a car or a bike battery. After I weld the first few cells, I line them up and make sure that they are properly aligned, and then stick them with some hot glue. After that, I continue welding them until I have the first 10S pack. Now guys, please, if you have zero experience in building packs, please don't do it until you are absolutely sure about what you are doing. If you weld the cells the wrong way, they can instantly short and explode right before your eyes. I would even suggest getting a pre-built battery pack if it's your first time, because these things are highly dangerous. Remember, safety is more important than everything else. After that, we make another similar pack and then weld the 2 series packs together in parallel, which just means connecting the cells with the same polarity to each other and basically just doubling up the battery pack. Again, if you weld it the wrong way, the batteries can and will explode instantly. Mark your battery terminals if needed, but be absolutely sure that you are welding the correct terminals together. Once the pack is complete, we need a battery management system to ensure that our batteries do not overcharge or over discharge. And again, I have covered the BMS in detail in my previous videos, which clarifies what a BMS is and how to connect it to your battery pack. And once I have all 5 little wires connected to the 5 cell groups, I ensure its correctness by measuring the voltage across the cell groups on the BMS itself. Next, some big AWG12 wires are soldered to the positive and the negative ends of the whole battery pack, and an XT60 connector is connected. Now, these warnings are boring, but I must warn you once again that do not, under any circumstance, touch these 2 wires together. What you would be doing is shorting 42 volts and sending hundreds of amps of current through the batteries. Tape off the ends of the wires before you even solder it to the battery pack. And once you do, solder them to the XT60 connector one at a time and do not leave them bare. At this point, we are basically done. I did a quick test charge to see how the batteries are charging up, and I monitored the charge of individual cells on the BMS. Now I can finally tape everything up with some strong tape and make the whole thing sturdy and solid. Then some foam to prevent any shocks and bumps from breaking the batteries loose. And finally some strong heat shrink to secure and keep everything bundled together. And our battery pack is done. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you are following and liking this OneWheel DIY build. Keep engineering and stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.